Hey, everybody, welcome in. Good to see you. Today is going to be another episode of Split Screen Podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. Of course, we're joined by the three lovely gentlemen that we are always joined by. Dan, how you doing today, buddy? You look very happy. We can't hear you, but yes, you're wondering, Dan is not going to be here. I did the same treatment to John when he was gone, and Andy, or actually when Andy was gone. John, you haven't missed out yet. So when Andy was gone, we gave him the treatment. Dan's getting the treatment today. I would hope you guys would do the same to me, but I don't know if this show would happen if I didn't actually record it. So, but that's okay. Maybe it would. Maybe John, you throw something together. That'd be fantastic.
One of us would have to like go to your house and sit at your screen because you've got all the setups.
I'm out on vacation, and you guys are just, hey, can we hop in here and record an episode? Oh yeah, sure, go ahead, do your thing.
The show must go on.
Yeah. John, how are you doing, man? What you been up to? What have you been playing? How was everything going?
We're good. We had a good Halloween. Had a fantastic time trick or treating. Your daughter, you guys came over to our house. We ransacked the neighborhoods. It was good weather. Good time.
It was great weather. Yep.
Had a good weekend. And then now we're just rolling right into another week. Today, earlier, just a few hours ago, I wrapped up recording Game 4 of Backyard Baseball of the series.
Oh yes.
So we're gonna find out. Today's Thursday. The episode drop whenever you upload this. It's gonna be the Sunday, November. What is it? The 9th. Sunday, November 9th. That is when YouTube is gonna find out if we wrapped it up, if we brought home the championship, or if the Minty Pickles forced a Game 5.
Oh man, Minty Pickles. I don't know. My money's on them. I feel like the difficulty.
I'm done with them. I'm so done with them. I swear. I think I mentioned in one of in like the first inning because they did something well, and I was like, I don't know if this game messed with RNG type stuff. Like, I don't know if they were doing that back then, but now that this is, the 2024 version of that game, I feel like the devs were like, let's stick some RNG in there. Like, you're doing really well. We're gonna bring you down a peg or two.
Hey, you never know.
Tough sledding, man.
Could be getting you
never know.
Giving you a run for your money.
We got that, and then rolling right on through Big Ambitions. Got my new series going there.
Love that.
Got a new strategy with my YouTube videos with that. I'm trying to draw in a little more views, trying to draw in a little more, eyeballs to the product. So I'm actually, putting some thought into my thumbnails and putting some thought into my, clickbaity style titles, and we'll see.
Cool.
We'll see.
I love that. That's been your most successful series, at least. So hopefully it
I think so.
It turns out pretty decent. Andy, what about you, man?
Yeah.
What have you been playing? What you been up to?
Halloween was good here too. Took the kids out, and some generous people around the neighborhood this week. There was like 5 houses giving away full-size candy bars around here.
Love that.
Yeah. So they got quite a bit of candy. Been pretty busy. It's been an interesting week for me. Haven't had a lot of time to play. I probably today was the first chance I've had to play really anything.
Sheesh.
And I played my game for our Dynasty, UCF. Played, we're in week 1 officially now. And my like 3 of my quarterbacks left. So I've got like a redshirt sophomore or something, 72 overall. He's like, he's number 20, and it's bugging the crap out of me, and I can't change his number.
Oh man, 20 a quarter. That's rough. That's terrible.
He's bugging me. So I went before I left to try to change the number, and it wouldn't let me. But we played like FCS something. We won 55-0.
Hell yeah.
But my starting running back tore his pec and is out for the season. So that's great.
Okay, that's good.
My backup's almost the same overall. He's good too, but
Okay, that's good.
that's a bit of a bummer. I'm
Hell
pretty
yeah.
sure my quarterback was the leading rusher in this game. His archetype is pure runner. So
Oh, yuck. He
um,
can't
yeah,
throw.
he wasn't too bad.
Okay.
I mean, I did the few times I did throw downfield, they were picked. Although I don't think they were necessarily bad throws. I think it was a little bit more of a me making the decision too early,
Gotcha.
thinking they'd get open. They didn't. Um, he did have a couple overthrows, but it wasn't too bad. He went like 13 for 22 or something.
Sheesh.
But so um, won that game. We're just waiting on John over here to play his
I
game.
know. I know.
He's too
I'm
busy
so
busy with his ambitions, Andy. Sorry.
I've got these big ambitions. I'm just trying to trying to live the life there. I'm trying to make it big.
I love that.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick.
mhm.
I know we're not a sports podcast, but we did attempt 2 sports themed episodes, before in the dead season when there were no sports.
Yeah.
And one of the 2 episodes we talked about Sauce Gardner, and then lo and
Mm.
behold, now he's become some big old news in our neck of the woods.
Yep. He's an Indianapolis Colts with crazy. It's wild.
Making moves.
Yeah, for sure. The new owner's not messing around, I feel like. You know what I mean? Which is cool.
Yeah.
And they traded A.D. Mitchell, which I thought was hilarious.
Yeah.
After
Well,
his
yeah,
game
because the guy dropped a touchdown pass, and they were like, you're not, you don't fit in this vision anymore.
Yeah, sorry, buddy. Never happening again.
He made another bad mistake or two in that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. For me, I haven't been doing not anything new, I don't think. Playing a little bit more ball pit, playing a little bit more Battlefield 6. A friend of ours, Sheldon, got me back into college football ultimate team. So we've just been playing challenges and shit, building up our teams and having fun with that. So he got me hooked back into that. So that's kind of fun. But not really, not a whole lot else.
I earlier before we broke into here to record that, and I was in that group that you were playing that with. Is that a co-op type deal? Like you guys are on the same team?
Yeah.
The way I was listening?
They have a mode. It's called squads, and it's a 3v3. So you get 3 players. It was me, Sheldon, and our friend Corey. We were on one team. I was the offensive. So what it does is it takes the offense of my team. If I pick that role, it takes the defense of Sheldon's team, and it takes the third person is like the quarterback or is the coach, if you will. So it'll take the coach, the uniform, and special teams is what they will do, I think. So it's kind of fun. It's really fun. You go online, you play against 3 others. Usually you're going to run into teams that have like the best available because there's a lot of these people play this game a lot. So they got the best cards,
this
right?
Is not their first rodeo.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So we held our own. We played a game against a team that was pretty loaded. I mean, Cam Newton, Calvin Johnson, all these good cards for what they are currently. Held our own, came down. We had 2 plays in the red zone. The first play was it lagged out. We got like this whole notification thing that popped up. It said, please wait. And then my quarterback started drifting, and then just threw an incomplete pass, gave us 2 seconds left. And I was like, we had not had any problems the entire game. And then it comes to the one of the 2 downs. You know what I mean? I was like, this, of course, you know what I mean? But ended up throwing to the back of the end zone, didn't catch it. So we lost by 4. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. So if you don't have a strong team and you still want to play, like, for example, anybody who's like, I don't have a good team, but I would like to play, you could be the head coach and you could use the other 2 people's offense and defensive teammate. They're like teams, which is kind of nice.
Get you the you the feeling of playing.
Yeah, just having fun with your friends. Yeah, it's a good time.
Cool. Is it in the vein of like I assume the 3 of you were controlling different players on the field?
Yeah,
or were you just calling plays?
No, you're all controlling different players. So Sheldon's defense was on, so he would call defensive plays. My offense was on, so then I would call offensive plays and control the quarterback, and the other guys could pick a lineman, they could pick a receiver, tight end, halfback, whatever they want.
could you like you called the offensive plays, but could you move over to the wide receiver and have let Sheldon do
I
quarterback?
don't think so. I think you're locked in to be quarterback.
Locked into quarterback. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Which,
So it's okay. It's a little bit in the vein of do you remember years and years and years ago when we would co-op NCAA football and we played a created team.
yeah.
Uh,
Mm-hmm. We'd run through and do all the different things.
yeah, and yeah, the created school of the you know who's.
Yeah. Yeah, the cans, dude. The two cans for sure.
Yep.
It was a good time. I it's kind of like that, yes, but more you have to work to get that team. But but a little bit in that same vein.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
Right. Yeah. It's in the vein of what it was years and years ago,
Mhm.
but with now it's the whole ultimate team style.
Yeah, for sure.
That EA just schleps.
Yeah, 100%. But it's a good time. It's a lot of fun.
Have you spent money on it? I'm
No.
sorry, I'm asking questions.
No, it's fine.
You got my wheels turning.
No, it's
have the others spent money on it, or is it what they've been given?
no, yeah, it's kind of like, well, if you play challenges, the rewards are pretty plentiful. I mean, I would say the rewards are really good. Even just for packs you get for playing challenges. You just run through, play different stuff, you level up, which then gets you also more rewards. And those packs are pretty friendly, I'd be honest. And right now it's not like, I think the best rated players you can get are in 93s, right? Those are going to be your most expensive cards. And that progressively gets higher and higher as the season or the life of this game goes on. So at the end, they're going to be handing out 99s left and right just to get people in and playing and having fun. You know what I mean? So,
sure.
But yeah, it's a good time. On to some talking points we've got here. We've got a big one. Not a lot to talk about it. We'll just kind of get everybody's gut reaction. Breaking news actually announced today as of this recording, which is Thursday, November 6th. GTA 6 is delayed until November 19th of 2026.
To the shock of no one.
Coming, yeah, I mean, I think granted, I think we're all in the park of like, that's okay. We have other things to do and play. Make sure it's good when it comes out. Right? I mean, gut reaction, is that it's how we all feel, right? Andy, is that your kind of sense?
Pretty much. Not surprised at all, considering we still haven't heard anything else about it.
Yeah. John, same thing for you?
Yep, same thing. It's totally fine. And to me, it's not even, oh, I've got a laundry list of other games to keep me busy. It's not even about that because, I've got so many games that I play.
Right.
But it's fine. I'm, we are where we're at in our stage of life. It's fine.
Yeah.
We've got even beyond games. There's other things that we're doing in life. It will come. It will drop. It will be. They're saying it will be a life-changing game, and you know what? We'll just keep riding it out.
We'll see about that.
We trust Rockstar.
But I do, you know what I love? Not to, we don't trust them enough to not union bust, but that's a different story. We can talk about it at a different time. But I do love that this meme of, we got X before GTA 6 is going to continue. I love that that's going to continue.
It's so fun. The one I read after this was announced, it was somebody who commented, and they were like, when Grand Theft Auto 5 came out, I was a sophomore in high school. And then they listed off all the life accomplishments that this person has gone through which you would, over a course of 13 years, of course you're going to be doing that.
Yeah.
But this person went to college, went to a trade school, has a family, has children, like huge things, it's like all before GTA 6. And I'm like, yeah, that's, I guess, I mean, we could do the same thing with our lives if we stopped and thought about all the different things.
Nah, I haven't done shit.
But they're funny. I love the creative ones. The life ones are like, oh yeah, that's true. But the funny ones, those are that's the gold mine.
Someone was like, we got an interstellar asteroid before we got GTA 6 or whatever with the 3i Atlas or whatever they said. I saw that. I was like, yeah, hell yeah.
Yep.
It was funny because earlier in the week, K-pop Demon Hunters 2 got announced, but its release window is 2029, and someone's like, we're gonna get K-pop Demon Hunters 2 before we get GTA 6, and I was like, holy shit. So I just thought that was funny, but I love that that's gonna continue until at least for
Yeah, until it
over a
actually
year.
comes out.
Yeah, for an over a year.
Yep.
So
There was a few months ago. I remember seeing an article about like a new planet being discovered, and they're like, "We got a new planet."
or was a new
before
moon? I think there was like a
6.
like a new moon or
Yeah,
something. Yeah,
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 we
yeah,
got
yeah.
a new moon before GTA 6, and it's like how absurd of a thought is that? Like,
Oh shit. That's some of my favorite stuff. So it's gonna live on for a little bit longer. We're all here for it, I think. So it'll be a good time.
as they say, the internet is undefeated.
Yes, always will be 100%. Moving on to the next one. I gave some homework. I think I teased it in the last episode at the end of the last one. But we're actually we're not gonna go to Dan because Dan is not real and doesn't exist right now. This is not real Dan. So we are going to be hopping into and showcasing. I asked these guys, give me 5 to 10 games that kind of best describes you and your video game adventure, if you will, or if somebody was trying to get to know you, give me those games. We're going to start with Andy.
Delivered.
Yeah, they did, and I put them together and in a somewhat generous of a photo. I've been seeing this go around a lot. I got the idea from a lot of other people. Kind of Funny was one that did it recently on their podcast that they did. So I got the idea from them, and then I've seen it actually being shared online and Twitter and things like that. But we're going to hop over to Andy's. I'm going to pull up Andy's. And yes, I was generous with the photos just to let everybody know. I didn't go back and find a super embarrassing one of these guys, even though we've got plenty of history. I could have done that. I chose not to. But here, let's hop over to that one and take a look. All right, Andrew.
There he is. Look at that. That was Babyface.
Yeah, that's almost that's half Babyface right there. Couldn't even grow out the rest of it. Come on, Andy. Come on, dude.
That's at least 10 years ago. So yeah.
So Andy, go ahead.
Do you remember the picture where you were, what you were doing?
It was Disney.
You're drinking something.
I think we're at Universal there. I think I'm drinking a butterbeer.
Yes, if I remember, it does say Harry Potter on it. So
yeah, okay.
But
that's from at least 10 years ago, or 10 or 12.
Andrew, you couldn't give me 10, but you gave me a bunch of series. So I picked some of these. I kind of picked Tony Hawk 3. I was very comfortable picking that one because I know that's your favorite.
Yep.
The Ace Attorney, I just picked the trilogy because I was like, hey, that's 3 games. So why not just pick that one, right? So you gave me a couple of these are series. But run through, kind of give me some rundown of why these kind of describe who you are, if you could. Start at any place. We'll cover them all though.
Yeah, so these aren't, necessarily, I mean, some of them are all my favorite games, but I tried to come up with what describes me, when it comes to games. So Ace Attorney is one of my favorite series, and right there in the middle, Hotel Dusk, Room 215. I love narrative-driven stories. Ace Attorney, some people call it a visual novel. I disagree. But very narrative-driven. I love, the detective work, that goes into Ace Attorney. Hotel Dusk, if you've never heard of it, is on Nintendo DS.
I haven't.
Don't think it ever came out on anything else. It is one of my favorite games too, actually. If you can see the picture there, it's kind of like this. The whole thing is kind of like in this art style that looks like it's been drawn, like hand drawn. And you do play this detective that you end up solving a mystery in this hotel. And it uses all the features of the DS. It's just very creative. The story is very engaging. And you don't want to put it down. You just want to keep playing it. Doom, I chose that.
I assume you meant the first one.
I do enjoy. Yeah, I would go with the first one because I was going more for just my love of video games and video game history. Doom. I do love first person shooters. Halo is one of my favorite series. I mean, you can probably put that on here too.
Right.
But Doom was such a not only genre defying but industry defining game, for for its time. Um, Basically, uh, you know, created what the first person shooter became, at right after Wolfenstein. Um, so and it's a great series, of course. Um, NCAA, played just about every single one of those. We would get them every single year. We would play them. John, what in the hell are you doing over there?
He's ready for story time.
Yeah, I'm listening to you. I'm just enjoying the story.
All right.
He's gonna end up further and further back, and you're gonna end up seeing him just collapse.
Yeah, I'm like, what? He's like disappearing.
My chair reclines. I'm reclined. I'm
So,
comfortable listening to this.
anyways, and now the college football that it is now, we've picked that back up. But I mean, yeah, we used to just blast through that. We'd have a dynasty. We'd be like 30 years in the future.
Yeah,
Random
crazy
people
shit.
would reach out to us to try to join it.
All the time.
When they had
I
that.
forgot about that. Yeah, we did have that.
When they came out with that thing for like Xbox 20th anniversary or something like that, and you could see your like top games. My number one top played game was NCAA 11.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's the one that I think we dumped the most hours into and got the furthest into.
We're talking. I mean, whatever year the game was, the actual year that we played it was the year before, right? So that would have been
2010.
Summer of 2010 that 2011 came out. Yeah, I think that checks out for about where we all were in life.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's been a big part of, really my whole life. Also, you have NFL 2K, specifically 2K, to 2K3, 2K5 as well, to an extent. I don't think I actually had 2K4. I think I got Madden that year because of Michael Vick. But
yeah, I mean, the cheat code that he was in that game. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, we would play the heck out of those. At least Jordan and I would.
Yep.
And that was a big part of us. And I can't remember if it was 2K5 or 2K3. But there was one where I would always be the Patriots and Jordan would always be the Giants, and he would put Michael Vick on them.
It had to have been. Yeah, it was 2K3. It had to have been 3. Oh, 3. Dude, so good.
We did that all the time, and it was like it was so fair too. Each game was so close.
Yeah. Because Kerry Collins was the original, was the quarterback.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is bullshit. I said, my Giants are not good. And you'd be like, well, I'm going to be the Patriots. So the Patriots were really, really good. The Giants were about here. But if you added Michael Vick, it was like, okay, now it's closer. You know what I mean? That's what it was. Yeah. We went back and forth. I don't know how much on that game. Loved it.
Had to be like a even series. The one I always remember though is where I was in the lead by like just a little bit, and you are driving down the field. You get tackled at like the 1 yard line. Time's running out. 4th down and goal. Hurry up, offense! You spike the ball.
Because back then I didn't know how to do anything. It was like, because now, and it still is like this now, if you hold down a certain button to no huddle, it will go into a spike. But if you hold down a different button, it'll go into whatever the next play is. Apparently I was like, I need to do a no huddle. So then I just held down a button and it was the spike button, and that's not the one I wanted to do. So that never happened to me ever again. Ever again.
No, that was great.
Good times.
That was hilarious.
Good times. Good stuff.
And I think it was 2K1 or 2K2. This wasn't the Giants and Patriots, but I was the Browns. I was the shitty Browns, and you were somebody else that I think was shitty.
Yep.
And You were winning. You had the ball, and you were just fucking around, and I picked it off. I got an interception. I threw like a Hail Mary and won at the end of the game.
Bullshit. I need to
won't
quit
forget
fucking
that
around.
either.
Oh man, you know one of our favorite things that we did too, Andy, was when we used to like do random 3 times and then pick one of those teams. You remember doing that?
Oh, yep. I remember we did that.
That was some of the most fun stuff.
That could be what we did when I was the fucking Browns.
Yeah,
That could
probably.
be.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
so good. Good times.
Yeah. Yeah. So many good times.
I love that your
those
story
games.
is that you were the Patriots when, like, in real life, you despise them.
Yeah, 100%.
See, I that was early when it was early, like 2003. You know, they had only won like 1 or 2 championships.
Okay.
It wasn't until a couple years later that I really started hating them. Like they kept winning, and now I'm like, fuck you guys.
Yeah.
Like stop beating the Colts and shit.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh man.
They were still cool to me back then, and then they quickly became uncool.
Yeah, they're like, not anymore. I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
How did I gotta ask? How did you just put? Was that just a feature in the game that you could just mess with the rosters, and you just put Michael Vick on the Giants just? 'Cause?
It would just be like one of the quick plays or play nows, and then before the game we would go in, change the rosters, and then we just play a play now game. Like that's all it was.
Okay, I guess I think I remember. Like there's like an edit roster feature.
Yeah, it was always in the main menu.
It's not as far fetched as I was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, a lot of games did offer something like that.
The Tony Hawk series, you know, really 3 especially, as Jordan put here. You know, we another game, another series, growing up, you know, just throwing so many hours into those games as well. And all of us together, especially 3 had so many great levels: the airport, the mall, the cruise ship, you know, all those great levels. So lots of history there with that. Last of Us, you know, Last of Us and both Alan Wake. I kind of just chose one of them, but both of those games are also real narrative driven, but they're just such fantastic games. Like it's not just it's different than Ace Attorney and Hotel Dusk. And you know that I just can't get enough of that. You suck me in with a great story, and I'm staying. You know, I don't remember his name, but I think there's a game designer out there who said that, you know, gameplay mechanics they're at a point where they can hardly be innovated anymore. You know, Doom, super innovative game, you know, genre defining, like I said. But yeah, we're at this point where like gameplay mechanics, you know, you tweak them maybe a little bit, but they're largely the same for every game. I mean, you have your shooters where you have the 2 sticks now. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, it's none of that kind of stuff is really there to bring anybody over anymore. Yeah, the story always will grab me.
The story's always one of those things where it can just regardless if there's good writing, a good story. You can tell by your choices here, like it doesn't matter what the type or genre is. If it's got a good story, you're almost locked in. So I feel you on that one.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, that's all that are on here. I mentioned a couple that weren't on here: the Halos, the you know, Sonic's another one that I really grew up with. If we want to go different direction than Doom, especially Sonic 3, that's a fantastic one. So
Love that. Hell yeah. Appreciate it. 'Cause I think it's a perfect. Granted, I've known you since kindergarten, so it makes it real easy for me. I could have picked a lot of these for you, which is awesome.
yeah, I bet.
The same thing with John, and I haven't known John for nearly as long, but obviously still long.
Yeah.
It's about what, 7th, 8th grade, some shit like that. But so I could have done the same thing for John. Dan is the one I've known him since freshman of high school, right? But I could probably give you a couple, but that's one I'm interested in seeing, and I'll give him his time next week when we put it through. But I'm excited to see what he's got. And granted, I've already seen both of yours, so the excitement is lessened because I'm spoilered. But I know you guys haven't seen each other's. You saw the list, I guess, in our text chain, but
I haven't seen John's pictures yet.
yeah, it's nothing crazy. I'm not gonna tout it. It's just one I found. Trust me, for both of you, there were different images I wanted to use that I chose not to because I was like, not yet. We'll do this again for something else, and then I'll throw you guys under the bus. Let's hear it. John, you want to hop to yours then? You want to do it? You all set?
Let's do it.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Here it is.
I
don't know who that guy is.
E2. That is Jim Cornette.
Jim Cornette.
Yep.
Keep going, because I'm not biting yet.
wrestling promoter.
Gotcha. Okay.
He was from Smoky Mountain, Tennessee. Had his promotion there. He worked with the WWF, then WWE, real long time. Helped them out in Ohio. I can't think of the name of the place, but OVW, Ohio Valley.
Gotcha.
He was there for a stint. Just very much in the fabric. You know, a lot of people, 90s wrestling culture, Jim Cornette is a big part of that.
Gotcha. Okay.
He had the tennis racket.
Mm.
He had that big time manager of Owen Hart and Yokozuna, probably most famously.
Got you. Okay. All right.
Yep, that was at C2E2 in Chicago Comic and Entertainment Expo. I forget the year, but yep.
Love that.
Me wearing my $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase shirt and getting a picture with Jim Cornette.
Love that. So if you can tell, there's a trend where a lot of John's time was spent on the 360, which is great. I think I love that. You know what I mean? Which is awesome. But John, go ahead, kick it off, man. One of these anywhere you want. You run through and kind of just give us some input.
So let's see. I've got checking to see. Okay, yeah. So like for the wrestling one, I'd given you 2 of them. So I'm trying, and then Resident Evil. Oh, you did get both the Resident Evil ones. So I'll start up there with the Resident Evil one, as that's the oldest. Well, no, I guess the Super Nintendo would be the oldest, but I'm gonna start with Resident Evil. So that's obviously my first. You know, and building this list, I'm having a hard time. Am I building this list based off of memories, based off of emotion, or, as the question states, games that best describe who I am? And I mean, I guess it all plays hand in hand, because these are games that have shaped me as I've grown up, and am growing up still. Big Ambitions down there, literally, like, that's a new game just a couple months to me, and it's in my top 10 of all time. And that's just a testament to how much I love that game and how much I'm enjoying playing it. But Resident Evil 2, it's one of my first memories. One of my oldest cousins, David, he came over to the house and popped that in, and he played it, and I just sat next to him, just jaw on the floor, just, wow, this is incredible, this is amazing, this is scary. I'm peeing my pants, scared. Just, you know, it was such a genre defying game. You know, Resident Evil kicked the door open. Here we are. Here's what we're doing. And Resident Evil 2 doubled down on that and just took the series to another level and launch padded it into. I don't think Resident Evil would be what it is today without the success of 2.
No, there's no way. Not even a chance.
Yeah.
You know,
I agree.
It may still be a success. It may still be a good platform today, but I think 2 shot it to the stratosphere. Just the popularity of that, the innovative things that they did with that. You know, you've got you've got one game, Resident Evil 2, but you've got so many, all the different ways that you can play it. Leon A, Claire B, Claire A, Leon B. You know, you get that. You get all the different narratives, all the different stories, all the different ways that the game could be fleshed out and played. And that was so new back then. So that game's always going to be close to my heart. And then under that, Resident Evil 5. I think a lot of these games are going to be co-op, friends, co-op. You know, one of the big themes with my games, I'm huge into playing with my friends, playing a game with somebody that I'm enjoying spending the time with. Yes, I will play games by myself. Yes, I enjoy playing the games by myself, but I love team-based games. I've never honestly been a fan of one-on-ones. Famously, you know, how if how good if we remember when we did NBA, when we would do NBA 2K leagues, famously, you know, how successful was I in those? Dog shit. Uh, you guys beat the tar out of me in those. I hate
Hey,
one
John,
v one v one games
John,
because
you
I just
you,
don't have the competitive skill there.
you had a team of shooters, John. That's all that mattered. Okay, you had a team of shooters,
With
right?
Ray Allen or
Ray Lewis,
Richard,
Ray Lewis,
Ray Lewis.
but he
That's
was
right.
called Richard Lewis.
That's
Oh
right. Yep,
man,
Ray Lewis was on my team.
oh, so
Amazing that I
good.
got him to come
That's
to the NBA.
fantastic.
But yeah, I like solo games. They're fun. You know, you get the story. I like the Call of Duty campaigns. It's great. But I love teams. I love playing with friends. I love doing story modes with friends and all that. And Resident Evil 5 will always hold a place in my heart then, and it shapes, you know, a lot of memories too, and where that is because you and I played that. You and I beat the ever loving hell out of that game. Left, right, center, up, down, backwards, forwards.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely, you know, took that game and went all the way with it. And those that's something that I always just enjoy those moments, being in that team atmosphere,
Right.
having a partner to play the game with. And then that rolls right into the same with the wrestling, with the WWE games. I 2009 is the one you got pictured up there, but I had 2000 specifically across all the WWE games, specifically '09 and then 2K14 are the two king shit WWE games to me.
Yeah.
And '09 is gonna be again because that was I think when online modes really took off.
Yeah.
And again, that's when we would do a lot of online wrestling then, and that was the year that I spent in college, and I did a lot of wrestling and a lot of not going to classes.
Hell yeah.
Because I would be playing that game, SmackDown versus Raw '09. Tag team champs and all that. So
Yeah,
that,
dude.
that was it's just
Jimmy Johns.
great times. Jimmy Johns, the Silver Bulldozer. We would combine, you know, the nicknames of your guy and the nickname of my guy, and we would put them together and get a new team name there. And it was
good time.
Absolutely, just good times. 2K14. It was the last one on the. It was the last one on the 360. It was on the one, but it was gutted. Nope, I take that back. It was
15.
the last one on the 360. Yeah, 15 was the first one on the one, but they also did a 360 version.
It was the one where they were different. They played different. The one on the Xbox One was more simulation. The one on the 360 was more back in the old style. Yep.
Yeah, which I didn't know that because we had Xbox Ones, so we jumped to 15.
Yep.
And 15 was absolutely gutted. That game was trash.
Yeah.
But had we gotten the 360 version,
would have been just fine.
Just as a complete game as 14 was apparently. But we didn't do that. So 2K14 was my last Xbox 360 wrestling game, and that was the series end on the 360. So it was complete. It was everything that it should be. Again, I think that was the year that we had the hammer and nails and saw.
Hell yeah, dude. Tool shed.
Yep, that's right. The tool shed and the
Jesus Christ.
waterman,
The Hawaiian hobo. Everybody,
Hawaiian
man.
hobo. That's right. Yeah.
That's not
So,
his name.
Good
so
times.
just what just I am a surrounded by people person. I enjoy games that can be played with a friend, and that goes with that. Football, there's really not much more that I can say that Andy's already said.
Mhm.
It's the camaraderie. It's getting us all together and doing that, and um, the online dynasties. That was a game changer for our group of friends.
Yep.
The hours and the nights, days spent playing that game. Just amazing. And that was taken away from us for 10 plus years.
So long.
And that was rough. Yep, that was rough.
We used to always be like, "Oh, it'd be great if we could watch the, national championship."
Yep.
And then, right after they stopped making the game, streaming became a thing.
Yep. It was like it became more mainstream and more accessible, and then you're like, "Psych, we're not making it. You can't watch it anyways."
Yeah. Yep. In NCAA 14, I think whoever would be playing in the national championship game, you basically just had to describe what was happening to the rest of us that were in the party listening. So it was almost like listening to a game on the radio.
Well, it was also the only time they don't do this now, where like if you were in a game, it would tell you the score underneath like the friend on the friends list. Remember that? So you could get like, Beachhead 34 was winning 14-7, right? It would say like first quarter or second quarter, but it would update as it went. And I was like, that's kind of cool. So that was the only updates you would really get if you weren't listening.
Yeah.
Could do that now.
Yesterday, I think it was yesterday. I was on price charting looking up something. I don't remember what I was looking up, but it got me distracted, and I started going through my collection on my price charting list of all my physical games. And I'm not surprised by this, but NCAA 14, obviously 10-year gap from NCAA 14 to 25. At its height, I think this game was like $150.
Yep.
In value, and obviously it has now tanked, and now it's only worth about $20. So I'm not surprised at that, and I'm wondering when that happened.
Immediately
probably
when 25
shortly
came
after.
out.
Shortly after. Yep.
But
exactly.
I just noticed it yesterday, and that gave me a good chuckle that the game has tanked in value, but it was a fun one, and because it was the last one, we all hung on to it I hung on to it forever. I never got rid of it. The copy that I have today is the copy that I got in 2013. And so I never got rid of it, and most of you guys hung on to it for a couple years, and then most of you got rid of it and reacquired it, got rid of it again, and whatever. But so it would come and go. It was almost like football season. You'd get that itch every football season would come. You're like, man, I just want to play the game. I just want to do that.
Yeah, same thing. I get that a little bit when it gets around the holidays, beginning of the year with NCAA basketball.
Yep. Oh man.
Sometimes I want to bring that out.
Always.
If only there was a game to play.
Sooner or later, right?
Today, you got to think sooner or later it's got to happen. Somebody has to be paying attention to the success of the football game, and it's got to go, okay, we can get in on that for basketball.
Thought they announced that.
It just makes sense.
Their shitty
2K is going to make one, but it's not going to have everybody in it.
Right.
You're going to get halfway there.
We got to see how it's going to be. And maybe, I guess the follow-up to that would be hopefully that it does well enough that the following year they can rectify what they screwed up in the first year.
Yeah. Too much of a commitment, and then they're like, all right, people do want this.
okay, you know what? All right, we'll do it. We'll dump the money into this and we'll do it right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, we're talking Turtles in Time. I'll go to that one. That was again another a co-op game. Me and my brother playing that one. You know, I would constantly always wanna I would always want to play that. You know, he would want to play competition games, 1v1, him versus me, and I would hate it. Hated those games because also what inevitably happens is somebody gets upset.
Yeah.
Somebody is
Yeah,
upset that they lost, and I didn't like that. I don't like being around that. Whether it was me that got beat, so now I'm upset, or I beat whoever and now they're upset, and now we're not having a good time. And
and
so
now we're both
I
crying.
always and now we're both crying, and
Yeah.
now mom's yelling at us, and
And now
we're
I can't
upset,
breathe.
I'm upset, and now I can't breathe. And how beautiful.
Makes me think of my brother. Quick story on that item. I used to play my brother frequently in games, and certain games, especially the sports ones, I was better at, even though I was way younger. He was kind of not great. Um, and one game, Sega Genesis, NBA Live '97. Um, Even though I beat him frequently, he still played it. You know, we win. We created a lot of characters like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and stuff like that. We put on there. You know, I'd keep like making shots or whatever, and he'd yell at me to stop making shots. Like, stop making shots. I'm like, what are you?
I'm
I'm
doing
not
so
gonna.
good.
I'm not gonna do that.
And that's
You know,
not happening.
one game though that I'll never forget is I was the Lakers and he was the Kings, and he was on the free throw line up by a point with like less than a second to go. Misses the free throw. Our Kareem Abdul-Jabbar gets the rebound, chucks it full court, and it swishes. And he got so pissed at that.
Oh man. Oh shit. Wow, you gotta
Oh,
love that. See
it
what you're
was
missing out
amazing.
on. See what you're missing out on, John. See what you could have.
The fight, I can only imagine just the heartbreak and the hurt feelings that was caused there.
My brothers would never play games with me.
Consequently, that was the last time he played games with you, Andy.
Yeah.
Maybe NBA Live. I don't know, but I thought it was amazing. I was
Yeah.
like, I'll never forget.
He's like, I had a great time.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So I always, I mean, 100 times out of 100, I will choose a team game versus a competition game. That is me in a nutshell when it comes to video games. Is give me a team game versus a me versus you game. 100 out of 100 times. That's probably the biggest thing that describes who I am as far as games that describe me is team games. So Turtles in Time, that was how it was. That was one of our go-to games because we were on a team. We were the turtles.
Yep.
You know,
You were
we
two
had a
turtles.
common enemy. So I always loved that game, and we would always get to. Eventually, we did finally beat the game, but I remember for the longest time, the absolute longest time, we would get, you know, when you first get thrown in the portal, that very first level after that, when you're back in the Stone Age, and the boss of that one had like the spines on the back of his shell, and he would bounce, and
Oh yeah.
that level was like our crux for the longest time. We just could not beat it, but then we finally did. Eventually, one day we did. So good story there. Big Ambitions, Rise of Nations, kind of lump them together as like a RTS / role playing, and I guess you can throw The Sims in there too. Probably Big Ambitions more so like The Sims, but I love the strategy games. I love the role playing type games. So Big Ambitions. I am in my here I am now in my not streaming, my YouTube life. This game has just come out of nowhere. It released in 2023, and it just came up on my radar 4 months ago, 4 or 5 months ago. And from the first moment that I played it, that I got in and did the tutorial, I was like, I immediately within 10 seconds of playing it, I was probably like, I think I watched a tutorial, I watched a video on Steam for it, and I was like, this is a game this is a game that will change my life. I enjoy it so much, and it's just such a simple concept. You get dropped in New York City, and you just go find success. You build you It's structured in a way that you build the businesses that you want to build. There's like 15 businesses that you can build, so it's there are walls to it, but within that sandbox, you could do what you want. Currently in my playthrough, I'm going through all the different boroughs, all the neighborhoods that are in New York City, and I'm building a fast food restaurant in each one, but it's a franchise location, and that's something that um like the game doesn't officially let you do that. So like I can't the name of them is it's Elby's Grill House. That's the name of the franchise. But when I opened my second location, I can't call it Elby's Grill House. It's like you already have an Elby's Grill House. So
Oh,
I have to name it like Elby's Grill House, and then I just put the little letters like, oh, I could do numbers, Elby's Grill House 2, but like I put the letters of the borough that I'm in. So Elby's Grill House HK for Hell's Kitchen.
ah,
But visually, all the restaurants
Daredevil.
look the same. They're all what?
I said Daredevil. You said Hell's Kitchen. I immediately think of Daredevil. Sorry.
You went to Daredevil. Uh, so they all look the same, like a franchise would. So rather than all these different places like that's my avenue right now. Is I'm a franchisee. Building up the same restaurant in each borough, and so I'm having such a good time playing that. It's such a time suck for me. Like I swear I could spend probably a good 5-6 hours on that game, and I'm doing something for that whole time. It's just crazy. It's such
That's
a
cool.
fun role playing game to do, to get lost and immersed in that. It's the immersion of it, I think, that did it for me. So role playing like that, really really good there. Uh, Rise of Nations, that's strategy game, war strategy. So just a game that I always went back to just for a fun couple of hours where you get on the big map and you've got 8 different nations, and every game is played differently. Every game is different because the maps are different, and you build your nation. You set up all your cities differently every time, and so every game is different. That's always fun. They all end the same, crushing defeat for the other 7 nations at my usually by me nuking the entire map, and then my foot soldiers just moving in and claiming each city, and then poof, then it's done. So they all end the same way, but they're at least all differently. They're all different for probably the first
They all start
3
different,
hours
but they end the
of the
same.
4. They all end the same. That's right. But yeah, strategy games, those
That's
are
fun.
fun. That's a good one. Godfather 2, of course. You wouldn't have the Godfather 2 without the original Godfather, and the Godfather is, just like Resident Evil 2. Godfather got the door open, that got us in there, and personally, I loved the Godfather 2. I thought that I was excited for that game when it came out. Um, I was hyped. I had to have it, and so again, that was the year that I was in college.
Imagine,
And
John.
we famously found out that 18 hours is as long as that takes to play that game, and that is because about 18 hours after it released, I had it beat.
Oh my god, dude. What your life could have been if this game never existed. You know what I mean?
I could have a degree and be just a completely different place in my life. But I loved that game so much that I have all of Xbox 360. I beat the game 100%. I've got all the achievements for it. I believe I did it for you, right?
Mhm.
I played the game 100% on your profile, got
Yep.
all the achievements for you. And I as well did it for your wife. I played the
Yep.
game 100% for her and got all the achievements. I think Andy, I think we talked about it, but I
Mhm.
never did get around to actually playing it for you and getting you all the achievements for it. But hey, the offer still stands.
360's right here.
Yeah. Come on over, buddy. Come on.
Yeah,
18
come on.
hours.
18 hours. That's all you
That's all it
need.
takes.
All right,
That's
I'll leave you alone. You can stay down here and play. I'll go sleep.
I loved that game. I thought it was such a fun I had such a fun time playing it, and even though it was only 18 hours, like I thoroughly enjoyed it. The whole um the dawn mode, the dawn view that you could do, you backed you out on a map and it was all colorful and interactive and everything. You could monitor like your gang people and
Mhm.
monitor this and that. It was so cool. It was such a cool concept. And commercially, the game wasn't really received that well. Probably why there's not a Godfather 3 game, but it holds a soft spot for me. I loved that game. And The Sims 3 got my plumb bob behind me tonight.
Hell yeah.
I love The Sims. Big fan of that series. Sims 3 being my favorite. I have the entire library of The Sims 3, every expansion, every stuff pack, even the rarely found Katy Perry Sweet Treats stuff pack that was
Ooh,
released
sweet
for the
treats.
Sims 3. I do have that, which I will tell you, just my personal way of playing. I don't I don't think I use anything out of that pack, but I have the pack.
Hell yeah.
Uh,
By the real quick,
all
Joe John.
physical.
Godfather 2 sold less than 400,000 units worldwide.
Wow.
That's not
Because
a
I
lot.
have
That's not a
I
lot.
have all 400,000
This is because you have a library of all of them.
of all of them.
Oh, that's fantastic. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So Sims 3, that was the pinnacle of the Sims for me. I got the Sims 4. I mean, your wife and I, we were
You fucking
stupidly excited when
so
the Sims 4 was announced. We were like, "Oh, this is gonna be great! This is gonna be awesome!" But what's funny? The best part is your wife didn't have PC,
she's
so it was
mine.
like she used yours, but that game quickly to us was like, "Oh, gone."
Yep.
It
It
just it
didn't
just
launch
didn't
the
it
same
didn't hit.
time. It didn't launch the same time on console, right?
No,
No.
no,
It came out later because I
no.
know she played it on the console as well.
And I think not surprisingly, it's because again you've got The Sims 3, which has a complete library, and then you're asking me to start over
Yeah.
with The Sims 4 with nothing but the base game, so you don't have those expansions and stuff packs and all that stuff.
Yep.
And it's a lot of things that you get used to having. In Sims
Yeah.
3 university, so I send my people off to college, and then you get The Sims 4 and you don't have that anymore, and it's like, well, now you got to wait for those to come out. And that being said, we're going on 10 plus years now of The Sims 4, and they have more than made up for it this time around. This the sim the Sims 3 life cycle, I think, was like 2009 to like 2013ish.
Okay.
Give or take that window, somewhere around there. And The Sims 4 obviously ended that window of the Sims. Whenever The Sims 3 ended, that's when Sims 4 started.
Mhm.
And it's still today coming out with stuff. So it's, there's been rumors of Sims 5, and then there's rumors that it all got kiboshed and that's all done and gone. But I love The Sims 3. That was my ultimate. I'm frozen. Am I still talking?
Yes. I'm just mocking. I'm
Okay.
just mocking you on my camera as well.
Yes, I did not freeze my hand. But so The Sims 3 was my ultimate role playing game. I loved that game. Did my best to not cheat in it. Get that control shift C mother load. Get that money. I would do it like one time at the beginning, and I would treat it like a loan. Like, oh, like this is
Oh,
my.
you're gonna pay it
Because
back. I got
you
you.
start out with like $3,000, and it's like you can't do nothing with that. So it's like I'm just gonna do one loan and go with that and set yourself up for success. So I loved it. Sims 3, role playing and team games. Though those are my bread and butters. All right. And then role playing games, strategy games, team games. Those are gonna be my bread and butter. And the last game on my list, Rock Band. Um, Specifically, I would say 4 because that's going to be the culmination of everything. You were able to play everything backwards
Yeah.
from it. So that was to me you have the whole library then at that point by having 4 and downloading the songs, and it's such a good time. You get together with friends. There's clearly obviously no competition there because you're just jamming out. You're having a great
Yeah.
time. You
Doing a band thing.
we
You
had
know what I mean?
exactly, all the nights of us playing the Boston songs, and
Oh.
that or Weezer's "Say It Ain't So."
It ain't so. Whoa. That's Andy picked that one
Or,
every time. Andy loves that one.
I'm a freak.
Yep.
I'm a weirdo.
Or-
Yeah, that one.
Or Sheldon's favorite, Green Grass and High Tides. You know what I mean? Loves that
Green
one.
Grass and High Tides.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Sheesh.
absolute good times. Just good times. You get me. You get me with a team playing game or a role playing game. I say role playing, but again, we've talked about this before in throughout all these episodes of the podcast. It's always the games that you ask me, oh, John, what's your opinion? Does this do anything for you? And it's like, nah, no.
Yeah.
Like, I love role playing games, but I have such a narrow of what role playing I like.
You're like, I love role playing, but only certain things. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Just
I
like
get it. I 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 do have I have 2 questions. I'm surprised there's at least one game that's not on here. And that's Minecraft.
I'm honest to God, I forgot about it as I was building that list last night. I honest to God forgot about it.
I was surprised. Now it explains that you forgot about it, but I'm surprised Minecraft wasn't on their list. But it's been out of sight, out of mind for so long. I think for you, this is a good list. This is a lot of stuff I would have put on here. I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of stuff I would have guessed, even before you sent it to me. The ones I wouldn't have gotten were Big Ambitions. I thought maybe that was a little bit too soon, but you have talked about it a lot recently, so I can see that. Turtles in Time was a surprise. That's one I did not know, but I could have told you RE2, RE5, SmackDown versus Raw, NCAA 14, Rise of Nations. I probably was iffy on. Sims and The Godfather. Another one I thought maybe would have been on here was Payday 2, but that's okay as well. I get it. Taking over one of these, I can't really picture it. So
an honorable mention.
Good list.
Good
list. Well done.
With the wrestling, obviously, RE2, RE5.
Mm-hmm.
Would you have guessed 09 and 14?
I would have guessed 09. I would not have guessed 14. And I don't know why. Because 09 was like tag team shit because of obviously the cover.
That was the focus. The focus was tag teams that year.
09 would have huge for sure. 09 and I can never remember the one that we played at our friend's basement, Brian's house all the time. I think it was 07. It was 2007.
I think it was 07 as well.
And that's the one we played in like
07.
Just in the basement with a multi-tap, 8 of us playing, like, you know what I mean? Like that's one I remember too. So it was 07 or
the 70 minute Iron Man ladder match that yours truly I rose to the top. I dug deep, as I always said.
Yeah.
I dug deeper than everybody. climbed that ladder and pulled it down and won after 70 grueling minutes.
But you don't like competitive games though, remember?
I know. I hated it. I hated every minute of every one of those 70 minutes. I was crying on the inside.
I don't want to do this. I don't want to do. My friends are gonna be so mad.
Yeah.
Oh,
it was
man.
5 of us and 1 computer. And if I remember right, the computer was Randy Orton.
I think so. Yeah.
And
yeah, it was because they're a big pain in the ass.
It was you. It was me. It was Dan. It was Baker. And who was it Brian?
Brian. Yeah.
It would have been Brian. And then
Brian was Kane.
And this was on the PS2.
Mm-hmm. Multi-tap,
and
baby.
We had the multi-tap going. And yeah, so there were 5 of us and then a computer. And Dan, like a dumbass, he didn't even try to win the match. He would just run around the ring like outside of the ring like an enforcer. And anytime somebody would go out of the ring to try and strategize or regroup or get a minute, Dan would jump them and throw them back in.
Feed them to me inside the ring with the ladder. I was just hitting everybody with the ladder. Oh, because that was the one also where you had, remember when they had the giant swing with the ladder? Where you would like take it and swing it really hard. That's the attack. It wasn't the one where you like took it and you bashed them with the end of it. It was this way. It was like literally would swing it like with one arm. And I'm like, good God. So yeah, fun ones. That's one I would have put on here as well. But 09 makes more sense than 2007 does.
Yep. 09 and then 14. That was the last hurrah on the 360. So
right.
that we dumped so much time into that one. With the lobbies, because after that the lobbies got gutted and it's damn near never been the same.
Never been the same, man. Ugh, absolute terrible. Great list, Sean. Well done.
On honorable mentions to SmackDown vs. Raw 07, the Conflict series that one that would
that's
be
a good one too.
Mention.
Yep, real good. Nice. Yeah, it's a fantastic list. This is spot on for me. I think both of you so far, minus the games I didn't know about, like Hotel Dusk, Room 2 something, whatever it was. 215. There you go.
Yep.
Let's hop over to mine. Come on, let's go through a journey with me. By the way, I had this done before I even asked you guys for yours. So mine was done, ready to go. I had it fixed up. You've been waiting. And I was like, this is going to be something we're going to do. I said, but I'm going to go ahead and do it ahead of time. That way it's just ready. So without further ado, let's go on a journey with mine. Here it is.
Ooh, famous picture.
I love this picture so fucking much. This picture was taken from a convention that we were at. I covered up Dan. Of course I did. Fuck Dan, right? Dan's right here. Dan's right behind these games, right there.
He's behind there.
This was Torg, one of the first, I think the first year we were at Torg.
I think it was the first year, and it was up on their website, right?
Yeah,
on their social media after that.
Yeah, but just kind of like just a great picture. It's see me fumbling through some Xbox games, looking for games. You know what I mean? And this booth was absolutely fantastic. You can see they're plastic wrapped, but that's beside the point. That's not what we're here for. These are my games. We're gonna run through it. I don't know if any of these surprise you. Any of these kind of make sense, perfect sense to you guys? Anything caught off guard for some of these?
Almost all these make perfect sense to me.
Hell
Is that
yeah.
Sunset Riders?
It is Sunset Riders, baby. Yes, sir.
I
yes,
forgot
sir.
about that one.
That's my favorite shit.
Put it on my list.
Put it back. Put it on there. But I'll start top left for me. BioShock. This is where the list of like greatest games of all time and games that best describe me. This was one of the first times where I was like, holy shit, right? Story beat was coming. The plot twist towards the end, obviously spoiler alert, but the would you kindly just entire plot twist threw me through a loop, got me started. I want to say maybe it got me going on just like story driven stuff, because I was very much competitive, very much playing the sports games online. I was very much playing the shooters online. I was doing all that kind of stuff. But BioShock kind of put me in that new direction of like, yeah, but there's this whole avenue of games you might be missing out on, which you can see will lead to some of these other ones. BioShock, probably my favorite game of all time. Alan Wake 2 does give it a run for its money. But BioShock is probably up there. Sunset Riders, I mean, that's probably my favorite Super Nintendo game. It's just fucking so much fun. The guy, the very first boss where he's like, bury me with my money, like is the most memorable shit to me. There's actually a website with burymewithmymoney.com, and it's just him falling, saying it over and over again. It's so great. If you guys, I think it was my Twitter bio like link. So like if you go to it, it's so much good. It's so fun. But yeah, countless. If you kind of go back to what the Super Nintendo was for me, I had one later in my life, so I didn't have one. Well, no, I guess I did. I went from NES to Super Nintendo. And then we went to the Nintendo 64. But this was one of my all-time favorites, Super Nintendo games of all time. If I keep going a little bit quicker here, Max Payne, just, I don't know what it was. I think the bullet time is really what sends me with that entire series. But Max Payne was just cool. It was creepy enough. It was dreary enough. It was just, I don't know, it was fantastic. I go back and I play. So I play this, I think at least once a year. I feel like I go back and check it out because it's so much fun. I can't wait for the remake, right? The remake's going to be so good. I'm excited for that. Hopefully that keeps coming.
Working on it.
Yeah. So yeah, Max Payne, really good. 2's pretty good too. And 3 is just like almost an entire change of pace. But I also enjoy that too. It's a lot of fun.
Made by completely different people.
Right. And that's kind of what the same thing for me with Arkham Asylum, Arkham City. But then you have the people who made Arkham Origins, and that was a different team. That was WB Montreal that made that one. But then you had Rocksteady who made the previous. It just feels different, right? It's the DNA's not there.
I don't think I ever finished Origins because in my save it would load up and then Batman would just be endlessly falling through the ground. And
that'll do it.
Yeah. And I was like, all right, done with this.
You're like, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
That's one way to take that out.
Well, Batman's ultimate weakness, right? Gravity. Next one here. I struggled with picking one of these. Tekken 3 is what I put down here because I am very much in the fighting game universe, but Tekken is probably my favorite fighting game series. I think that's what it is. I struggled to almost put down Marvel versus Capcom. That's a big one for me too. Not a big Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, but Tekken is really it. I almost put Soul Calibur in here because God, that's really good. I love Soul Calibur. But Tekken 3 beat out Tekken 7 for me because Tekken 7 was so good. Kind of put Tekken back on the map as far as esports and Evo and all those kind of things. So, but Tekken 3 really is probably the best in the series. If I go back down to the left, Vanquish. I don't care what anybody has to say bad about this game. I think you're full of shit. You can't tell me anything negative about this game. It's fast paced. It's just above and beyond. It's absolute nonsense. And that's exactly my style. The story, it's okay. It's okay. But I'm purely in that game to boost around on my knees, different ways, different angles, and shooting bad guys. Like that's what I'm in there to do. So that's what that game is in a nutshell for me. It's just pure action. And that's why it's on here, because sometimes I just need to get into that kind of, the game below it, Alan Wake 2, which we'll talk about next, but Alan Wake 2 gives BioShock a run for its money for my favorite game of all time. It's just probably the best made video game that I've ever played. It just is, from top to bottom, from quality to the way it looks, the way it plays, the way the story plays out. The connections
definitely my favorite game of all time.
Yeah, the connections to the first one, the connections to the entire universe that is that universe, right? From Control, and they tried to link in Max Payne with their previous stuff, but they had the rights issues. But you can tell they're trying to go that angle. If you just pretend, you're like, man, this is all an interconnected universe, and it's really, really cool. So that's why Alan Wake's up there. just so good, man. I know Dan and John give us a hard time for bleep bloop beep bloop with the flashlights and stuff, but
Bleep,
God,
bleeping,
dude,
bleeping.
it's so good.
So good. So good.
Going up here to the right of that, Halo 3. I fought with myself about Halo 2 or Halo 3, and I said I probably played Halo 3 more. I definitely played it with more different people. I think Halo 2 was more of a select group that I played with. I played that a lot on my own, but Halo 3, I mean, John, you and I, right? You and I played team doubles all the time, right? And it was just, we had our strategy and it worked. Sometimes you were bait.
Snipers and shotguns,
yeah.
Swords and shotguns.
Yeah.
Shotguns only. I'm the one with the shotgun.
And we played a lot of ranked, right? We even played the ranked system in there, which was awesome. And we got up there close to the 50 with that limit of like, that's what it is. Me and John were very, very close to that. So I have fond memories of that. I think that was Halo 3, the LAN party we had for one of your birthday parties, I believe, Andy, wasn't it? In your basement.
That might have been Halo 2.
Okay. It was one of them, but either way, that Halo series is kind of, you could just throw that on there and it would be just, that's what it is. It's perfect. I love it. Halo 3 is the best, I think, at its peak for Halo. And I think that a lot of people would agree. Moving over across the other side, Fallout New Vegas. That's when you start getting me into that role playing stuff, man. Holy shit. Give me in a big sandbox world. Fallout New Vegas is probably my favorite one. It's so good. The companions, the story is actually good. There's so much to do, obviously, because it's a Bethesda property and a Bethesda game. So duh. But yeah, just Fallout's near and dear to my heart.
That one was made by Obsidian, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, but but it was made by Obsidian, but you get the entire idea, obviously, of the Bethesda universe that they put in place, and it's just, that's why I think it's huge there.
Gotcha.
But you get that. That's so crazy though, too, to think about. Obsidian put out the best one, in my opinion. Yeah. But they didn't. 3 is real close. I really enjoy 3.
Common opinion, I feel like, too.
Yeah. Yeah. And 3 was really, really good. 4, not my favorite. I like the world. I think what they were doing was really good. It just didn't grab me nearly as much. You could almost feel like it was a live service ish, because they're like, oh, this colony needs help. This place needs help. It's like, I get it, motherfucker. I get it.
Shit bugged me and I stopped playing.
Yeah. I never actually beat.
I can't make it over there.
Yeah. I never actually beat Fallout 4. But Fallout 76 was eventually got to be something that was worth playing. Next to that one, Tecmo Super Bowl for the NES. I think out of all the games in here, if you were to go and say how much, which one of these did you put the most time into? It's probably that game. Honestly, I played the piss out of this game all the time. I had a loft. So I had my bed, and then I had a loft that had a ladder that went up to it. And I had an old TV, and I had my NES, and I had this fucking game in there all the time. And if it wasn't this game, it was Skate or Die. It was one or the other. And if me and my dad were playing, it was Life Force. So there was like a 3-game rotation that I went through and we played all the time. And this was one of the ones that I probably played the most. I did seasons all the time. Of course, I picked the Giants, and you got to be Lawrence Taylor on defense. He was the best defender in the game. He just blitz right through the middle and get a sack almost every single time. I would purposely hope to not get, when you pick the correct play, the entire defense kind of rushes where the ball's going, right? I would purposely hope I wouldn't, so I could get the sack with Lawrence Taylor before anybody else could get there. That was my favorite shit to do. Just so great. And last but not least, I got Dark Souls Remastered. I picked Remastered because I tried Dark Souls when it first came out, and when I was actually working at GameStop. I was working at GameStop, having a good time. And I was like, Andy, when we could check games out, you remember that? So I checked out Dark Souls for the 360, and I was like, let's give it a shot. Let's go for it. Let's see what it is. I despised that fucking game when I first played it. I was like, why would anybody want this? Why would anybody want to beat themselves up and beat their head against the wall and just make zero progress. And then when you die, who would want to do that? Later, it came to, I think it was in my streaming, when I started streaming full time during COVID and things like that. I was like, screw it. We're just going to go for it. So Dark Souls Remastered, that's a beautiful game. There's not a better interconnected world than I think Dark Souls Remastered. The way you go to certain points and then you get to another point, you unlock a shortcut or a door opens up after you beat a boss and you're like, holy shit, I'm at the beginning again, or I'm here. This is sick. I can't believe how connected this world is. So Dark Souls Remastered for me, absolutely fantastic. Yeah, I think, are there anything for you two that you would have thought, oh, I'm surprised this isn't on here for you?
I guess I just thought NCAA might be on there for you too. Or some of the NFL games that we played.
And I thought about sports games and I was like, would they explain it to me more than like, because I didn't want to put too many sports on there, because obviously I played 2K, NBA 2K, I played NCAA, I played NBA Live, I've played all the FIFA games, for Christ's sake. You know what I mean? So I was like, if I get into this, if I open the sports box, this list would just be sports at that point. NASCAR, for fuck's sake. I played UFC. Like, you know what I mean? I just feel like I'm opening that can of worms. And then my whole list is like, oh, this guy just plays sports games. He's a fucking loser. But honorable mention for me would have been NBA Jam or Crazy Taxi. Honestly, I think those were two that would have probably survived up here. But yeah, I don't know about you guys. I'm excited to see Dan's piece of shit list. I don't know about you guys, but we'll see what that piece of shit's got for us next week. So if you watch this one, stay tuned, because Dan will be here hopefully next week, and we'll get his take on his 10, if he can give us 10. And I have some I think that he's gonna put on there, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Oh man, that's a good time. Let's hop to the next talking points. Here we go. All right. So appreciate you guys putting that together though. Thanks so much. A couple things, not a whole lot to, maybe it'll turn into a bigger discussion here. But this article comes from Video Games Chronicle, and I think it is done by, what's the name here? Andy Robinson. And this article says the headline is consumers spend twice as much on video game remakes than they do remasters, according to research. Global spending on average remake was more than twice that of the average remaster, according to a study. Video game consumers spent twice as much on remakes and remasters in the last 2 years, according to new research. According to the research, video game remakes, released across 2024 and 2025, attracted 72.4 million players across Xbox, PlayStation, and Steam, with these consumers spending $1.4 billion on premium full games and microtransactions. Notably, Ampere found that across 42 titles examined, 15 remakes and 27 remasters released between January 2024 and September of 2025, global spending on an average remake was more than twice that of the average remaster, basically at 2.2 times is what it was. However, Ampere acknowledges that while the data suggests remakes can rejuvenate classic IP and attract new audiences, they require substantially higher investment in development, marketing, and time. Right? Because you're remaking something. John, I want to get your opinion. Do you feel like that makes sense? Remakes are more successful than remasters? I mean, outside of the data, I just want to get your kind of gut reaction to what you think.
Yes. Ultimately, I think yes. But what I'll say is I think it's probably the audience. You know, a remaster could be somebody's cup of tea for somebody who, oh, I didn't get to play it the first time around. So the remaster is what became available to you, you know? Resident Evil 2 was my first Resident Evil. I didn't play the original Resident Evil. I have since then,
Right.
but I didn't originally. And my first time playing Resident Evil 1 was the remastered version.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think. I guess that was a remake, wasn't it? Because
It's a remaster. The one was a remaster.
the GameCube version where they like that's the one, and then they ported that
So you played.
2015 to Xbox.
Oh, okay. I was thinking you were talking about the Xbox one.
Interesting.
Well,
Yeah, I was trying to to figure that out.
So you've got Resident Evil PS1, the GameCube version, 2001, right? Is that when that one came out? That was a remake, but in 2015, that was a remaster of the remake.
Dude, I'm on Twitter, or I'm sorry, not Twitter, Reddit, and someone's like, "Why is there no RE1 remake?" And someone's like, "There is a remake, and it's a masterpiece. It's easily available on all platforms." LOL. The next one goes, "No, remaster. We want a remake." He goes, "No, it's a remake, not a remaster." Someone's like, "Nah, some archaic camera just remastered of the GameCube version." Right, the GameCube version was a remake of the original version. Jesus Christ! Like, what are you guys are just? They're going in circles, and it's actually hilarious.
It's like we're talking about the same thing.
Yes, right.
Yeah, no, the GameCube version was a remake of the PS1, and then the Xbox version was a remaster of the remake.
Yes, 100%.
And the Xbox version is the one that I played. So my
for the first time
ever my first time playing the actual Resident Evil 1 was a remaster.
And I don't think there's any shame in playing the absolute best available version of a game, right? That's I think what you should have done.
Yeah. Especially, the older games are always going to have the charm.
Yeah.
But I think that charm can quickly wear off with inferior technology and inferior playing.
Yeah. I think so, but you're firmly in the thing of like the data kind of makes sense, right? Like remakes are more appealing than a remaster. And that just seems like it.
Yeah. I mean, shit. I am excited beyond belief. Obviously, we got Requiem, we got RE9 that's coming out in February. But after that, RE9 is out. Traditionally, the Capcom schedule has been a new one and then a remake, a new one and then a remake, a new one and then a remake. And so I am excited about what the potentials be. Whether, oh my God, are we gonna finally get a remake of RE0? Are we finally gonna get a remake of RE Code Veronica? Those are the two popular ones that everybody is just begging to be remade from the ground up. In the same vein that RE2 and RE3 were remade, the potential of what people think that a RE0 and a Code Veronica remake could be are just so exciting.
Yep.
And then you got people who are asking for a remake of one. A remake of a remake, they're like, which personally I feel like, as far as that goes, get in line. Like, I think Zero and Code Veronica should be done first.
Take your time.
We revisit something.
Yes, I agree with you there for sure. The time frame that it did grab was January 24 to September 25, and there were some notable remakes in that time period, right? So you had Silent Hill 2 was a remake. Final Fantasy Rebirth, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth was a remake, right? You also had some notable remasters, which was like the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, right? That was a remaster technically, even though you could almost pass that for a remake. You had Gears of War Reloaded, which was the first Gears of War 4, was a remaster. So there are some exceptions to that rule. It's just, I've always been under the impression of like remakes should be treated as such, right? You need to actually be mindful of that name and careful when you use it. So I think the data makes sense. Andy, you kind of in the same boat with remakes should be what they are, and it makes sense that they make more money.
Yeah, I agree. Remakes, generally go more or less for full price, while remasters don't.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. Um, but
That's a great point.
when you hear remake, in my mind, I do get more excited for that because that means they're making this game that we already know and love, but they're making it from the ground up, so it's going to look fantastic. See
Right.
Silent Hill 2.
Mm-hmm.
And they could also do quality of life improvements.
True.
Those are generally done in remasters, but you only bump the graphics up a little bit, and it still looks fairly dated and is largely the same game, while remakes are the same but also feel new and different.
Right.
So I do feel like there is that kind of more excitement by
Yes, I
anything
agree.
that is a remake.
If anything, they're modernizing the controls, right? The combat or whatever it
Right.
is, right? I mean, not so clunky, right? But sometimes in like Resident Evil, that's almost looked for. They want that tank, that turret based, you know what I mean, stuff. So that's what they want sometimes. So nothing wrong with that. But yeah, I think I'm usually more excited when I hear that a remake is coming versus a remaster. Granted, I've bought both in the past and probably may continue to buy both. Like if they remastered Split Second, I'm probably getting it. I'm probably locking in, but I would prefer they make a remake, but so be it. I know that's more costly to do that. Speaking of sales, Polygon put out an article here. Not really their article. It's by a whole bunch of people, by Ollie Welsh. There's no question that the Switch 2 is the biggest console launch ever. It sold 10 million in 4 months. Nintendo has released its latest quarterly financial report covering up to the end of September. The numbers eradicate any doubt that the Switch 2 is enjoying the most successful console launch of all time. Nintendo said its new console has sold 18.36 million units in 4 months between June 5th launch date and September 30th. It is selling twice as fast as a Switch. So, John, that kind of adds a little bit of context. You were asking about what's this compared to? Twice as fast as the Switch is kind of bananas, which managed 4.7 million units over the equivalent period. PlayStation 5 sold 7.8 million during its first 2 quarters and took 8 months to reach 10 million. So it reached 10 million in half the time that PS5 did. And on the back of these numbers, Nintendo raised its sales forecast for Switch 2 in the current financial year from 15 to 19 million units. This would make the Switch 2 Nintendo's biggest seller over its first year, ahead of the Game Boy Advance at 18.1 million. That's crazy. Crazy that it's going to, and that Advance came out for like $99.99, right? Or some shit like that. So that's wild. I did see an article, and maybe this one touches on it. I'm trying to go if this I'm browsing through here, but I saw a number saying that about 80, I think it was either 78 or 84% of the current sales of the Nintendo Switch 2 were 2 people who owned a Nintendo Switch previously. Right? So, how they come up with that, who knows, but I'm sure they have their ways. So that's kind of interesting to me too, that number is so large that it was like, oh shit, I really enjoyed the Switch. I'm going to go out and get the new thing as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Does the Switch 2 end up beating the Switch 1 in its life cycle as the greatest or the best selling console of all time? How do we feel about that?
Geez, that's a tough question. At this point, the Switch is still selling
Yeah.
and is on pace to eventually pass the PS2. So, I mean, we would be talking like best-selling console of all time numbers, and I don't know if it can keep that up especially if, you know, the price never changes. Sure, the Switch actually went up in price, but it's still cheaper than the two.
Right.
So, who knows what's going to happen on that front.
So I want to make a quick correction. I'm sorry, the Nintendo Switch is not currently the best-selling console of all time. It's still the PlayStation 2 at 160 million. I'm sorry, I thought the Switch had passed it. The Nintendo Switch is closing in on Nintendo DS, which sold 154.02 million, and the Nintendo Switch is at 154.01 million. So real close behind. It's currently on the Switch 2 is currently below the Game Gear, the V Smile, and V Motion, the PlayStation Vita, and the Wii U. Which is crazy because it's been out for 4 months. So, absolutely bananas. And it's almost halfway to the GameCube.
Wow.
So that's pretty wild, right? John, you thinking this'll do it? Think the Switch will then surpass the old Switch and then actually keep rising? Or do you think there's enough of a gap where the Nintendo Switch, or the first one, still gives people what they want, right? And they're still happy with that one.
We're not talking money, right? We're not talking about
Units,
sales dollars. It's units.
Yep.
Because economically, obviously, the prices are so much different.
For sure.
But I don't. No, I don't. I still think that the Switch beat the Wii, right? It did end up.
Yeah, the Wii is at 101.63 mil, and the Switch is at 154.01.
Okay,
million.
so the Switch like dominantly ended up outselling the Wii. I could see it. I could see it doing it.
Yeah, I could too.
But I think that the Wii was revolutionary, and then the Wii U was a disappointment. And then the Switch was revolutionary, and it's possible that the Switch 2 might not be revolutionary enough because it's just basically an extension of the Switch. Obviously, it is different, but in the eyes of some consumers, it might. What's this? Wait, hey, can I get a Switch 2? We have a Switch 2 at home, and it's just a regular Switch, and it's like, okay. So I don't know.
I get that. I feel what you mean, because usually the second one doesn't always do nearly as good as the first one. If you take out the PS2 example of what it has, right? I mean, I don't know. It's just a Sony and Nintendo thing. And then you get squeak in there with Microsoft, the Xbox 360, 84 million.
We're here. Don't forget about us.
Don't forget. Hello. Which is, is what it is. But I think it's cool. I think the Switch 2, I know I was extremely skeptical about it. I think we all were, right? Of like, oh, we don't need to go get it. Does it even need to exist? Blah, blah, blah. It's pretty neat. Yeah. Maybe it's just me saying, oh, I've got the new thing and it's cool. But that's that's kind of what it is for me. But if they keep putting out, the good stuff, put out a new Mario, people will they'll start buying it. No problem. Right. There's new Pokemon games that keep coming out. They're expanding the other universes. So who knows, man? Yeah. Sky's the limit with the Nintendo Switch 2, I think, especially with what it can do and the capabilities. So, we'll see. Mm-hmm. We'll see. Good stuff. Next one here. This one comes from gamesindustry.biz. This article is from Sophie McEvoy. Sorry. There's no N in there. I don't know why I said that. This article says, the headline, 72% of devs believe Steam has a monopoly on PC games, according to a study. Majority of studios surveyed say Steam accounts for 75% of overall revenue. More than half of developers feel they rely too heavily on Steam to distribute their games, with 72% believing the platform has a monopoly on the PC games market. That's according to a new white paper from PC distribution platform Roki titled The State of PC Gaming Distribution. An independent study conducted by Atomic Research surveyed 306 industry executives across the UK, US between May 18th and May 22nd, 2025. 75% of respondents were senior managers of C-suite level, with 77% from studios with more than 50 employees. The study found that for the majority of the studios, Steam accounts for over 75% of their revenue. However, it also noted that developers have started utilizing other platforms, including Epic Game Store and Xbox PC Game Store. Nobody uses the Xbox PC Game Store. Let's be honest.
Let's be honest.
That's used for Game Pass and Game Pass only. Almost half of those surveyed, man, we snuck in some Xbox conversation. Crazy. We had to sneak in a little shot. You know what I mean? They've been having their run. So Xbox got caught astray right there. Let's see here. Almost half of those surveyed, 48%, have distributed a title to both stores, while 10% have used GOG and 8% have used itch.io. GOG is fantastic, by the way. It's so good with their DRM free like versions of games. So good. And the thing that they're doing about preservation too. They deserve a lot more of that market share. Roki does note that as its survey is dominated by larger companies with diverse portfolios, a larger portion use storefronts like Epic Game Store rather than itch.io, which aims to serve independent developers. Let's see here. A couple other things I want to read. Elsewhere, the study found that 32% of developers release some of their games on physical media, disc, cartridges, and keys in boxes. Marketplaces like G2A and Kinguin are also an option for distribution, as e-stores such as Fanatical and Humble Bundle. Developers highlighted benefits for both, including ease of use, pricing control, promotional support, and international reach. Data showed that 80% of these surveyed expect to use alternative channels alongside Steam within 5 years. 75% predict that they will see at least a 10% uplift in revenue from using Marketplace and e-stores in particular. I think monopoly means there's no alternatives.
Yep.
So I think monopoly is a little strong of a term. Do I think Steam has an absolute lead on a lot of this stuff? Yes. I think there is a lot to be done to catch up. They laid the blueprint of what a wonderful storefront and store experience should look like. Everybody should probably copy that. It's fantastic. It's easy to use. It's quick. It's snappy. It does what you want it to do, and you can find what you're looking for, right? But Andy, how do you feel like monopoly is the right term, or do you think it's a little strong?
I don't necessarily think that it's a misuse of the word, because regardless of market share, Steam has become synonymous almost with playing PC games.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And the developers know if they're making a game for PC, it needs to be on Steam, or it's not going to sell anything.
Correct.
Being a necessity, sure, there's others, perhaps they could, put it on Epic Game Store or whatever. Having them, but having to not have the option to not put it on Steam, it makes me think that monopoly is not necessarily the wrong word. I see what you're saying, but technically, is it a monopoly?
Yeah.
Probably not, but it's as close as you can get to one without it being one.
My take is that real quick is that how do you, and I agree, but like, how do you mitigate that, right? If they're doing the right stuff and doing it well and doing it better than everybody else, that almost comes to be, it's like, well, then everyone else needs to then step up the competition part of it. And Epic Game Store tried to do that, but with money. right? They've got the backing of, right? So they tried to do that. They tried to buy games and buy exclusivity and do all these kind of things. But we've had that conversation many times, right? You start your library somewhere and you get achievements somewhere and you build a platform somewhere. You're like, I want to keep going in that direction.
Right.
So that's where my pushback would be a little bit, is like Monopoly, yes, but also they're just the ones doing it the best, and they've been doing it the best for a long time. So like, yeah, I see what you mean though, because if a game, an independent studio or independent game wants to be successful, you have to launch it on Steam. But it's not saying you only launch it on Steam, right? You can do with the other ones.
Right.
So I see what you mean though. John, how do you feel? You think Steam's got it and get chokehold on the entire PC industry?
I do, but I'm also not complaining.
Right. I feel you.
From my point of view.
Yeah.
I enjoy the platform.
It does what you needed to do, right? That's the best
it
at
does
it.
what I needed to do. I think, if in a free market, if you want to compete, come up with something better. Now, that being said, maybe I have something better. And it's like, I just don't have the traction for it to be noticed.
But I mean, isn't that just the way it works though? You know what I mean? It's kind of,
But that is the name of the game.
yeah, you have to then market it, then get it in people's hands. And then like, there's a whole gradual uptick in your stuff. If you have something that's better, you should see said fruits of your labor. Right. But it's it's a weird conversation, because it's like, we do the best, we have the best, setup and platform and everything else. But then why would they be punished for having the best approach to it? I guess, you know what I mean? It's a weird thing. So I think Monopoly's a little strong, even though, like Andy said, it's probably as close as you can get without it being, if Epic Game Store was like, we're no longer going to exist, that would then force you to look at Steam and be like, why can't they exist? You know what I mean?
Right. So, like, oh, okay.
Yep. Well, I only have one quick hit for you guys. Marvel 1943, delayed to late 2026, Andy. I don't know if you even know what game I'm talking about, but
I do.
It's they had a demo, or not a demo, I guess like a teaser kind of come out. Had Black Panther, had Captain America in there. This is what's her name? What's her name? Amy Hennig, I think, or something like that. I can't remember. Yes. Sorry. Yes, is that right? Okay, great. This is her attempt in her game towards that. If she's still with that company, I think she is. So, but it looked promising. I'm all for it. Give me another Marvel game that I can play and have fun with. That'll be sick. But did get delayed to late 2026. Hopefully not November 19th, like GTA 6 is coming out. Don't do that. You're just going to set yourself up to fail. So maybe a little bit later, possibly, if you can, might want to do it before. That'd be my guess, is because everybody else is probably going to be investing their time in some GTA. I know Dan's excited. Look at him. He's looking real excited for that Marvel 1943.
It's all about it.
All smiles, man.
To see more about it. You mentioned Amy Hennig. She was with Naughty Dog for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Worked on the Uncharted series, which is a fantastic series. That and Tomb Raider, two of my other two favorite series. So,
and she got screwed out of doing a Star Wars game, like 1313. Yep. So that was too bad.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Yep. So she's been getting the shit end of the stick as of late. So hopefully something lands and we get to see one of her see her talent come out in a video game would be awesome. But there were no real games of note that I wanted to touch on for games that came out this week or coming out this week. The only one was, I think, Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment comes out. I think came out today, actually, for the Switch too. You're a big Hyrule Dynasty Warriors, that's a Zelda Link Dynasty Warriors type game. So kind of a cool approach to it. But anything, John, anything to send us off with? You got anything plans coming up? I know you said Sunday is your maybe finale, maybe not finale of the next game, right?
That's true. Yep. Stay tuned for Sunday. See what happens in Game 4. See if
Love
we can
it.
bring home that championship. But that's all I got going
I
on.
love it. Love it, love it, love it. Andy, how about you, man? Anything else before we head out?
Just waiting for John to play his game, so we can go to week
I'm
2.
telling you. Yep, you're right.
Big ambitions, Andy. Oh man. All right. Well, we appreciate you all. If you all hung out to the end of this, thank you so much. It was another long one, almost 2 hours. Maybe once I chop it up, it'll be a little less. So
Yeah.
thank you guys so much for hanging out. Of course, hit the subscribe button. Check out John's content on his channel at Leprechaun Bomb on YouTube. And hopefully we'll see you guys on the next one. If you did stick around, Dan's top 10, not top 10, 10 games that describe him, whatever, 10 games or 5 to 10 games, whatever it is, you're going to get Dan's list and we're going to do it next week. So,
Sure, man.
hopefully we'll see you guys next week. Thanks so much for watching. See you guys.